I can't do this. I can't homeschool my children. I have no idea what I'm doing. Do you have real doubts and fears that you're going to permanently mess up your children or forget to teach them something that's very important for them to know? Well, today I'm going to share with you the subject that almost caused me not to homeschool my kids. Hi, welcome to Born for Homeschool. Here at Born for Homeschool, we share tips and tricks, information, and encouragement to simply support your homeschool. My name is Rachel Bourne, and my husband and I have 4 children. This year I am homeschooling the oldest 3. I have a kindergartner, 2nd grader, and a 5th grader. So today I want to share with you 3 things that I have learned about homeschooling. And one of these things is a piece of advice that I received from other homeschooling moms who've been homeschooling for many years. And 2 of the things are things that I just had to learn for myself along the way. So the first thing that I had to learn for myself was that I could do it. I can homeschool my kids. Now, when I first started considering homeschooling, the thing that terrified me the most was teaching language arts, because I absolutely love language arts. I love language and stories and literature. I just love it. And I had no idea, how am I going to take this subject that I love and successfully teach it to my kids? And the thought just terrified me. I would have no idea where to even start. But I have learned that homeschooling is an extension of parenting. There are many, many things that I have taught my children. You know, how to blow their own nose, how to put on their clothes, how to brush their teeth. Some of these things that I teach them, I don't even have to think about how I'm teaching them. I just teach them how to do it. And there are some things that I teach them that I have to first learn how to teach them well, and then I can teach them how to do it. And so that is what I have learned about homeschooling, is that there are so many resources available to help me to teach well. So I had to learn that I could homeschool by actually doing it. I never felt ready to be the homeschool teacher, but by simply deciding and doing it, that is when I learned that this is something that I can do. And the second thing that I wanted to share with you today that I've learned about homeschooling is a piece of advice that I received when I was first thinking about homeschooling. I talked to moms who had been homeschooling for many years, and I asked them for their best homeschooling tip for moms that were just starting homeschooling. And several moms, they had the same piece of advice. And so I definitely thought about it a lot and really put value on it, because so many of them said, find a curriculum that works well for you and stick with it. So that is something that I have done with our language arts curriculum. I found a curriculum that we really like, that works really well for our family, and we have stuck with it. So the curriculum that we have used over the past several years, since my oldest daughter was in 1st grade, we started this First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind. And this is put out by the Peaceful Press, I believe. So we recently did a video on how to find the best curriculum for you. And in that video, I talked about finding a curriculum that meets your needs and finding a curriculum that aligns with your philosophy of homeschooling. And this First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind, that is more of a classical approach to homeschooling. It's really exactly what we needed for language lessons for the beginning years of school, and so we have loved it. The First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind has 4 levels, and the 1st and 2nd level are just a teacher's manual, and the 3rd and the 4th level have a workbook with them. We started level 1 in 1st grade, level 2, we've done level 2 in 2nd grade, level 3, we've done, my oldest did in 3rd grade. That carried over a little bit into 4th grade, but we're coming back to finish level 4 in her 5th grade year. And so this curriculum has been so good for us. It gives me exactly what I need to teach, and the lessons are short and succinct. The first levels, you're just learning definitions and learning poetry. You do story narrations and picture narrations. The lessons are easy to understand, there's plenty of review. We have found this to be a really delightful way to learn language arts. My girls really have enjoyed learning through this curriculum, and I'm definitely planning to stick with it for my boys. So as you advance through the levels, level 3 and level 4 both have workbooks for the students. They do things like diagramming for sentences and learning the different parts of sentences. They do letter writing skills and dictionary skills. It has just been a blessing for my family. This curriculum has fit our needs so well. So if you haven't found a English curriculum or a language arts curriculum that meets your family's needs, then definitely check out First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind. However, if you have found a curriculum that you guys love that is meeting your needs well, then don't switch. Stick with the curriculum that is working well for your family. So I think that that is definitely something that I have learned, is to, when you find a curriculum that fits well, to stick with it. So the third thing that I have learned along the way is don't settle. Now this may seem like a complete oxymoron to the second thing I shared, which was find a curriculum that you like and stick with it. But if you haven't found a curriculum that you like, if you haven't found a curriculum that fits your family well, then don't settle for grinding through and making this learning happen and putting a check mark by the lesson. It's not worth it. There are some days in homeschooling that are not fun. Don't get me wrong. There are days where you want to throw the books out the window and or at the child, and you have just had it. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a curriculum that doesn't meet your needs, a curriculum that it's not working well for you, and you know it, and yet maybe you feel bad that you spent so much money on it, or maybe it's something that you wanted to work so well, or you were so excited about it. I just want you to know that you're not stuck. If you don't enjoy it, if it's not meeting your needs for this season, then move on. Find something that does meet your needs. And maybe that's putting the curriculum aside for now. Maybe that's finding a completely different curriculum. Maybe that's looking for a different philosophy that better fits with your lifestyle and how you want to teach your kids. It's really important to not settle for grinding through your day and making this homeschool happen, because we want to remember the whole purpose of what we're doing this for. I want to give my children a strong and well-balanced education. I want learning to be a delightful and rewarding part of everyday life. I want them to have a biblical worldview. I want to teach them truth and how to think critically. And I'm sure that you want something very similar for your children. So I want to challenge you not to just settle for completing the lesson, but to really lean in and build those relationships and focus on the things that are really important to you and why you're homeschooling. I would love for you to leave me a comment below and tell me what is something that you have learned along the way, or what is a piece of advice that you received from other homeschooling moms that has really impacted the way that you homeschool. Thanks so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to Born for Homeschool for our weekly videos on tips and tricks, information, and encouragement to simply support your homeschool. I will see you again in the next video.